here on last week, him and his wife, and maybe third blessed us with music on last week.
Amen.
And so this week, we have a senior sleep in the house. Amen.
Hallelujah.
They are no strangers to you guys. You're all familiar with them.
Amen.
Hallelujah. It's just an honor to always bring them to this place. So at this time, I'm just going to ask you to stand and honor my pastors, Apostle D.and Jr. and Apostle Mary C. Come on, bless the Lord. Stay kind. I know we're going to hear from the both of them today. Hallelujah.
Thank you, Donna. We bless God today. Can we bless Him in this house? It's great to be here this morning. We are honored, delighted to be here, delighted to be in the house of the Lord,
Hallelujah.
in the presence of the Lord, and amongst such great people. I tell you, our brother, son, amen, Howard, amen, she's our daughter, so he got to be my son.
Come on.
And, and not like that, amen, amen, and I tell you, to my wife, and all the pastors here,
Amen.
musicians, and His great praise leaders today. They blessed our hearts, did not they bless us this morning? Amen. You may be seated. You may be seated, if you will. We just so proud, pleased to be here. Got here. My wife said to me earlier, she wanted to come to St. Louis, and I would say to her, I was kind of hedging. I said, I don't want to leave church. I kind of hang around. We've been gone a lot, and so she said, well, Tuesday we celebrate 42 years of being together. She said to me, well, that maybe this will be kind of like our 42nd anniversary. So what's the fellow saying? Except yes. I mean, how can I say anything but yes, with a smiling on my face. And so we here, thank God we're here. And so I said, well, we will probably leave early Sunday morning, go back home. Anadia's in school. And of course, when Pastor Roach, her daughter, got wind of it, she said, I'm paraphrasing, how dare you come in St. Louis and don't come back? If I were in Memphis, you would have me to come back and bring the word and all. And so, again, what can a fellow say? But you're right. So, you're right. So, amen. And of course we're here. We're not here grudging. We're glad to be here. Amen. We got plenty of time to go home. It's not a long drive, so we're glad to be here. And just to worship with you all. Not so much to preach, bring the word, but just to be here in your presence, just to worship on today. And as Psalm 133 says, behold how good and how pleasant it is for what brethren to dwell together in unity. It's like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For thou, the Lord, Lord command the blessing, even life forevermore. So it's just good to get together today. Amen. Just good to get together, to be together. For God affords us this opportunity. Like Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, he says, brethren, when I came to you, I came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, because to the testimony of God, I have determined not to know anything among you save Jesus Christ and Him crucified. So I didn't come to discover anything new. I didn't come with any great oratory message. I just come to tell you about Jesus and Him what? Crucified. Matter of fact, the Lord said to say, I would just like to utter a blessing upon this house. Upon this house and upon this place today. I know it's already blessed, but I just declare and decree that God would bless this place as only He can. And I know it's already blessed. I understand that. But I just want to bless this house on today. You understand, dude?
Come on, Will. Come on.
It's just somebody. You find 91st Psalm. The 91st Psalm is a psalm of blessing, I call blessing and protection. Sound to me, if you will, blessing and protection. Blessing and protection. And I may not, I don't know how the Spirit's going to move. The scripture would preach itself. It would preach itself. The word would do the word itself. It begins, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my strength. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers. Under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. A thousand shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. Thou shalt no evil come nigh thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in thy hands, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon a lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet. Because He has set His love upon me, therefore therefore will I deliver him, because he hath known my name. I will set him on high. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. I tell you, that preacher said, that is a song of blessing, and that's a song of protection. Say after me, a song of blessing and a song of protection. That 91st Psalm, that 91st Psalm, I tell you, that's a mighty psalm. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High. That's how you got somewhere to be. We got somewhere to be, church. We have somewhere to be. When you look at that psalm and you break that psalm down, you see in verses 1 through 4 the special care of heaven. They that dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. That's something about the protection of God. That's something that a couple weeks ago I was out in the sun, and it was blazing hot in Memphis, and it was beating on my head, bald head, and somehow or another I took a towel outside, wet towel. I was trying to be like the Mexicans. I think I didn't do it quite right. I wet the towel, I put the towel over my head, and all that did was allow the sun to make the towel hot on my head. And I tell you, man, it gets so hot that it almost was unbearable. And finally, I went inside and rested in the shade. And I thought about that, I said, Lord, to be under your shade, to be under your protection. I mean, that's the care of heaven. I tell you, the Lord delivered us from the snare of the fowler, from the noise and pestilence. We don't hunt now as they did back in that time. But what it says is God will deliver us, because I know in your life and in your experiences, you have people who have set traps for you. You have set people who tried to plague you, who tried to set you up. But God will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Sometimes you have perhaps walked into things innocently. You didn't even know what was going on. But somehow or another, you can testify today that God brought you out. You can testify today that God delivered you. You have a special protection of heaven. We know we used to sing that song all night and all day. God allows his angels to watch over us, how he just protects us, how he just keeps us. I tell you, even when you're out riding along and on the dangerous roads, and it's dangerous, I don't care if you're on the freeway or you're just on the way. You can just be walking. It's dangerous now. You don't know who you're walking beside. You don't know who's on the street. You don't know what condition they're in. You don't know what they're on. I mean, you don't know what their mindset is. But God protects us. I tell you, all of these road rage drivers that are on the road now, and look how God protects us. And then some of us, we are inattentive as well. Some of us, we look at our cell phones a little too long. We text a little too often. We on the phone a little too long. But somehow or another, the special protection of heaven looks like you look up just in time. Just in the nick time. You're about to run into somebody, but the Lord allows you to look up. Listen, this thing will speak for itself. The Word of God will speak for itself. And in verses 5 and 6 says, they shall be delivered from the power of darkness. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. What it says is that God will not only protect you, but He will even protect you from being afraid. We live in a time now where you can just have a fear of what's going on. I mean, things happening around us so unexpectedly and so suddenly and so quickly. But He will, not only will He protect you, but you won't even be afraid of all the stuff that's going on around you. Because Isaiah 26:3 says, thou wilt keep him what? In perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he does what? He trusts in you. And so God will give you peace even in the midst of the storm. I mean, you could be in the middle of a storm, or just like in a hurricane, in the middle of that eye of that hurricane, there's peace all around it, turbulent winds and destruction, but in the center, there is peace, and God will give you peace even in the midst of your storm. And I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know. And then I believe His word. I believe His word. If His word says it, I believe it. I have no doubt. I have no reservation. If He says it, that settles it.
Hallelujah.
And then, so He shall give His angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hand, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. I'm going to say it at any time. I think I did say that, didn't I? But see, that's what Satan said in Matthew 4:6. He said, at any time. He added 3 words there. He will give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. And you know the devil quoted that, or he misquoted that scripture. He quoted or he misquoted that scripture. He said, it's written. Jesus said, it's written. And the devil came and said, it's written. But see, he misquoted that scripture because he left out the words to keep you in all your ways. He says he will give angels charge concerning you. And then he added 3 words, lest at any time. At any time. He added 3 words to that. 3 words he added to that. And see, he misquoted wrongly, and then he wrongly applied it because he didn't use it to teach or encourage, but he used it to deceive. So he misquoted and he misapplied it. And if you misapply scripture, even if you quote it correctly, if you misapply it, you're still wrong. Who gives angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. The late Spurgeon, the great theologian who preached in England, and he said about 1854, He'd come to his church as a young man. I think Spurgeon had begun pastoring about 16 years old, somewhere around there. He was a very, very young man. And he said at that time that he had begun pastoring about a year, in 1854, the Asiatic cholera plague struck England. Had struck even more than England, but it had struck England. And in London, they said that 10,000 people were killed in 1 year. They said in England about 23,000 people were killed. And Spurgeon said that every day, more or less, he had a funeral. And he was young, and he had become depressed. His spirit was down, and he was constantly in contact with this plague. He was constantly in contact with this disaster that had plagued London, that had plagued England. And he sat down. He felt his body and his spirit growing weak and giving in. And he felt like he himself would become sick. But he said one day as he was walking, he looked in the shop and he saw this scripture. He shall give his angels charge over thee, keeping it all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hand, lest thou dash thy foot against the stone. He saw where it said, and no plague shall come against thee, nor touch thee. And he said that strengthened him. He said that spiritual word gave him boost. And he sat down and he went about his way. His spirit had changed. He was peaceful in doing the work of the Lord. And he did not contract that Asiatic plague because he said the word of God. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling, for he shall give his angels charge over thee. Ebola, all kinds of diseases now, all kinds of illnesses now, all kinds of, even the flu.
Yes.
Sometimes have a cold, you know, flu, they said, get a certain age, you take you out. They said, get your flu shot. Get your flu shot. Get in a hurry. Get your flu shot. Because it can take you out. When you reach a certain age, especially, at a certain age, they say, get your flu shot. He will give his angels charge over you.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
And I said you won't get it. I've had some colds, but none of them put me down.
Yes.
They were even reading. And they had the flu. I don't know. I'll tell you what he had done. So he'll do anything else, he's already done enough. I had it, but they never put me down. I mean, I laid down. Then I would put down. So God does this, God needs a rest. So I laid down, but I wouldn't put down. See, that's the difference when you can't get up. No, I didn't take the flu shot because I had never taken it, and everything has been going all right. And so, you know, I didn't take it. And I have a sister who says, okay, I take it every year because if I don't take it, you might get sick. And so I said, well, you know, I've never taken it, so I'm not going to take it until I get sick. So whatever works, you know. You know, I get it. And if I lay it down, well, guess what? If I get back up, I'm going to get back up, God with it, I'm going to the doctor. So, okay, doctor, I'm taking now. But verses 9 to 12, you're under the charge of angels, of ministering angels. Because Hebrews 1, chapter 1, verses 13 and 14, it says, but to which of the angels said he at any time, sit on my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool? They not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation. I believe God has given us ministering spirits. We don't see them, but I know they have to be there. I know they have to protect us because sometimes look like I should have ran into somebody. I should have really collided with somebody, but somehow or another, I don't know how I escaped. I remember as children when my sister and I, we were crossing the street, and you know, I didn't know then to hold her hand, and I wasn't holding her hand, so we were crossing the street, and in the middle of the intersection, she started running. There was a car coming, and she should have ran smack into the car, but somehow or another, she ended on the other side of the car. I think our angel was there. I think our angel picked her up and put her on the other side. Hallelujah. In verses 14 through 16, see, in the previous verses, the psalmist been talking. Some say David, some say Moses, but in the previous verse, the psalmist has been talking. But in verses 14 through 16, God responds. God starts talking. God said, because he has set his love upon me. Now he said, I'm going to set his name on high. God says, I'm going to be with him. I'm going to deliver him. And then notice what God says. God says, I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver her. And God says, I will honor her. God says, I will honor you. And with long life will I satisfy. I will satisfy them and show them my salvation. I know this might sound like a prosperity message, but back on back to verse 1. See, this ain't for everybody. But this isn't for everybody. Okay, I'll say correctly. This isn't for everybody. This is for those who dwell in the secret place of the Most High. This is for those who have a close relationship with God. I mean, sometimes they stumble, sometimes they fall, but they are consistent. They have a close walk with God. They love the Lord. God said, this is what I'm going to do for them. This is what I'm going to do for them. I'm going to bless them. I'm going to bless them when they go out. I'm going to bless them when they come in. I'm going to bless them when they sit by the way. Oh yes. Life circumstances may be all around you. You may not have solid ground to stand upon. All earthly help seemingly has exalted you on the left hand, and then on the right there is chaos. But in front and the back there is devastation. Let me tell you, you may be overwhelmed, discouraged, sick, financial distress, down out, hard, depressed, broken, demoralized. But he has promised. He has promised that he will protect you. If you dwell in the secret place of the Most High, he has promised to be with you. He has promised angelic protection. He has promised physical protection. He has promised mental and emotional protection. He has promised spiritual protection. All you got to do is just stay there. Let me quit, y'all. Let me come on, Pastor Mary, come on. But just stay there. special place. And I tell you, that's a special place. If you ever dwell in this most high, oh, I felt you. I felt you as you were talking about praising and worshiping him. If you ever dwell in that place, that's a special place. That's an anointed place. That's a place of peace and contentment. That's a place of joy.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In him will I trust. Hallelujah. Today I'm trusting in God.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Let me see, I'm old. I just tell them, I told my, I wasn't no Baptist preacher back then. I told them I was a gospel preacher.
Come on.
But you know, a gospel preacher, they still got some habits. So I better quick before I grab my ear, you know, before I get running around here. Hey! Hey! In God will I trust.
This hot mic. Yes! You do. If I had all the music today, I might walk around. He's good. He make a way out of nowhere. If I ever seen him make a way out of nowhere. He never turned no midnight into day. He's good, isn't he? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yes, Lord.
Hallelujah.
Yes, Lord. Hallelujah, from the start to now, hallelujah, it's just a sweet spirit in this place. No, I'm not telling you nothing, I'm not feeling a sweet spirit. And then I came in and we thought we were coming in at just the right time because it had gotten quiet in the church and came in and Joy was dancing. Jesus.
I said, my God, this is awesome. And I mean, she was dancing, the spirit of the Lord was all on joy, and she was dancing, and she was talking about those hills and those valleys, and the hills and the valleys, and I could just see that thing. Then Minister Roosevelt came on up here and went talking about the prophet.
Come on now.
He told y'all this morning, he said that a lot of us have gotten these prophetic words, and hallelujah. He told us why they probably not working. We're not doing what we need to be doing. He encouraged us this morning. And then this awesome praise team got up. She was just so sweet. I didn't even know my baby Angela could sing like that. She's always singing in the background. And I just ministered to this morning. And I know Sister Vicky could sing like that. Hallelujah. And they have just blessed us in this place. And then our apostle came and had blessed this church. And because I was here this morning, I got a blessing too.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Woo! And then he handed me the mic. But you know I'm going to go on and I'm going to say what God had, I asked him. I was like, Lord, I said, what word of encouragement can I bring to the church this morning? Hallelujah. And as I woke up this morning, he gave me 1 Corinthians 11:1. Apostle Paul still talking. He said, be ye followers of Christ, even as I also follow Christ. In other words, he was saying, follow me as I follow Christ. And so I was like, okay. And then I heard how Apostle just give us the blessing to do this thing. And he told you, he said, yeah, you dwell in the what? If you dwell. So in other words, it's up to you. Well, you want this blessing of protection this morning. I didn't even know where he was coming from. He said, if you dwell in it.
approach and how it wants to do. You're dwelling there, right? That's where you want to stay, in that secret place. And so if you dwell, and so when God gave me that scripture this morning, my encouragement was, it was about leadership. About leadership. You know, you're a new church. You're still a new church. And you're a growing church. And God does have somewhere for you to be. And He has a designated time for you to be there. And a lot of times we don't make it at that designated time. And you know why? We're moving outside of our leadership positions. And I know when I say leadership, everybody's looking to the front at Jandella and Howard, and maybe the ministry team, but I'm here to tell you that every person in this church is a leader in one way or another. You may not have a title. It's not about titles, but it's about leadership. If you're in a married situation, you are a leader. You're supposed to be symbolic of Christian marriage. So who's watching you? Well, if you have any kids in the house, they're watching you. But if you don't have kids in the house, you have extended family that's watching you. You have friends that watch you, co-workers, and then you come to church and everybody is watching you.
Come on.
Hallelujah. If you're in any position in the church, there are people watching you. If you're the praise team leaders, and you sing these beautiful songs, they're watching you. If you play the music, they're watching you. If you're doing the sound system, they're watching you. If you're on the intercessory team, they're watching you. If you're in the finance room, they're watching you. And even if you don't have those positions, it's always somebody in the church watching you. You'll be surprised sometimes who's watching you. And you know what they're watching you for? Not to watch you to catch you doing something bad, but you're the leader that God is using for them to grow, so that they can go to the next level. And that's kind of hard for us to be watched. I remember there were so many times in ministry I wanted to give up. But you know what kept me going? Somebody I knew would fall if I gave up. If I quit, I mean, this was way before the apostle, way before the pastor. This was way before all of that. I can't even imagine now. But way before then, if I stopped Angie, who behind me that's watching me would fall? Who would give up? And even though I fall, I might get back up again. But the people behind me may not be strong enough to get back up again. There have been times in marriage when marriage was hard. I love that little bald headed man over there. I keep him another 42 years.
Amen.
But marriage sometimes it's a challenge. It's two people trying to be one flesh. So there are times when, you know, you want to be angry and you want to be mad and you want to just, you know, hey, let's just, done with this for a minute. There's so many people watching you. So Apostle Paul saying, hey, you can watch me. How many of us can say that? Come on, watch me, follow me. As I follow Christ. Imitate me. Because I'm going to be doing it the way that the Lord would have me to do it. So, where do we get this strength to be good leaders? He just told us this morning. I saw a formation. Can I use you, Pastor Roger? I'm going to sit down. Come on up. And you know birds, when they migrate, they're going somewhere. They don't just everybody grab their bags and go the way they want to go. But they get a formation. They can teach us something. I think even in the military they do that sometimes with planes, don't they? You know, they're on a mission, a specific mission. So here she is. And could I get my brother Howard just stand with her? He looked at me like, oh my goodness. Come on here, brother Howard. Proper formation. Stand with her. That's all I want, just stand there. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Ministry team. Can I get the ministry team? Y'all got somewhere to be. Proper formation. Y'all know where to go lunch. That side and on that side, just one step back. Yeah. So I'm on that side. Okay. Proper formation. Hallelujah. Anybody else that have titles in the church, like praise team? I don't know if y'all have ushers and people like that. Come on. Y'all get behind me. All right. Now, we still have people in the church. They come in the church. You know, we got the children's church in the back. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Now, just everybody else that's a part of this church, get information. You're part of this church. Sister Asha, Tara, come around this way. To the front. Y'all shouldn't be back there. Y'all some leaders that you got a lot of folks coming behind. Behind all there. And this is what I saw. Y'all headed somewhere. And when God got y'all like this, wow, it's amazing. There's nowhere that you can't go. And there's nothing that you can't do. Because now you're all under that place of protection that Apostle just preached about. And also you've been given apostolic blessing to do this. But guess what happens so many times? First of all, I just want everybody to just turn around and look at the people behind you and say, follow me as I follow Christ.
Follow me as I follow Christ.
That's what you're saying, whether you say it literally or not. When you, in this confirmation, you're saying, follow me as I follow Christ. But what happens is, when one person gets tired, let's just say Juanita gets tired, so she gets angry. I'm just so sick of what's going on in the ministry, and I just can't take this no more. And so Juanita, move on out the way, go on over there. Woo. Look at that space that she left. She's not under, she might be still in the church, but she's not under proper covering anymore. And then she left this big gap. And Brother Joseph standing behind her. And because they gap there, and you see her move, a lot of times what happened is, what happened? Come on, Brother Joseph, you move on out too. Because he left, more than likely, you're my sister right here, she moves out. The formation is just being disturbed now. They may still be in the church, but they have moved out of proper formation of following someone else as they follow Christ. Y'all, we got to get over ourselves. It's time to get over ourselves. God wants to use us in some places. follow me as I'm going to follow Christ, regardless of what goes on. And not only will the people in this formation be affected, but people in your household who haven't even joined the formation yet, going to be affected. People in your community who haven't, and then the other people in this church today. There's some people in this church that should be in this formation, but they're not in this formation yet because they're watching somebody else. And so now we're just messing up. Look at all those people. Look at this big gap. It's just a big gap, and it continues and it continues and it continues. So the encouragement I have for you today, wait on God. And look, don't fly out too and start your own formation.
Wow. My God.
That won't work. Just because you're a leader in the church don't mean that's your ministry. This is my ministry. I'm not saying this ever happened in this church. I'm trying to give you encouragement for the future. Don't fly out and say, oh, everybody started patting you on the back. I tell you, last Sunday I preached at a church. And I wanted to hoop. The Lord gave me a hoop last Sunday. Wish I could have got one the day after him, but he said I needed to do this. But people came up, checked out. People who don't even say anything to me after I speak on Sunday, they go, preach, in the human instinct, Howard, you feel good. He's laughing. Don't laugh for Howard. It felt good. Hey, I got my hoop on. But the human instinct of ours, you feel good when people say good things about you, don't you? And you don't feel as good when they don't say anything about you. But you learn how to go on and don't let that affect you. But when they're saying that you do feel good, and Bro Joe, they were just patting me, they were texting me all week, you preach, I'm like, what? Make you want to cross on over and start my own formation. Now go be a hooper. See, if I had to start my own formation today, y'all would be getting this lesson in leadership. I'd be like, yeah, he handed me, I got tested, he handed me the mic in the heat of the service. Don't start your own formation. God has a plan for this ministry. You know what will happen? When that time comes and you're solo, this person will know it, and they will release you. And guess what? Some of these people will go with you, but they will go with you with her blessing. They won't go with you because I'm angry, I'm going over there with her because it may not even be their place. So don't just start out on your own formation. Stay right here, y'all. Let's see what God's going to do. Be faithful. People are watching you. They're watching you to see if you're late to service. Little children, they're watching you. They watch to see how much money you put in the plate. Y'all remember that story about the little boy? His parents would always give him $5 to go to the movies and stuff. And when it was time for church, they gave him a quarter. And he found out one day, he said, I know what's important. He said, this game is more important to God. And his mom said, what makes you think that? He said, well, you give me $5 for this, but you gave me a quarter for church. They are watching you. And guess what? Look at him back there. That's my baby right there, Christian. I love me some Christian. Christian whopping them drums too. You doing them drums up, boy. But Christian is watching the folk in this church. Y'all don't know who Christian is. Do you? Y'all don't know. Christian may be the next whatever and bring millions into this church. And then he'll come up in here saying, I'm going to give y'all $1,000. Because he don't want y'all say the church ain't important. We don't know who's behind us. So be faithful. Be obedient. Stay in position. Get over yourself. Because that's it in my church. Get over yourself. I have to get over myself. And y'all, let's do this thing. Y'all got awesome leaders. She going somewhere where y'all going not. Because of the favor of God and her obedience. But I believe y'all going too. And it's going to be awesome. Churches all across Missouri. Hallelujah. It's going to be just awesome. So turn around. Y'all get back in line. Get back. Get back. Get back now. Word of correction. Stay in position. And then you turn around and he said, you can follow me as I follow Christ. All right. I'm done for now.
Hallelujah. Come on, bless the Lord for the apostles being in the house on today. Hallelujah. When the apostles, I know enough, I don't know a whole lot, y'all, but I know enough to know that when the apostle bless you, you better receive. Yeah. Receive that blessing on this. He said, I know this house blessed, but I just feel an unction to bless this house. And when the apostle says that, you better receive that blessing. I don't care where you at, what you're going through, but I encourage you to receive the blessing of the Lord on this morning. Hallelujah. Come on, bless the Lord again. I believe it's time for our tithes and offering. Who has offering on this morning? Miss Manette. Hallelujah. Come on, bless the Lord for Miss Manette. It's good to bless the Lord for your brothers and sisters. Hallelujah. Glory to your name, Jesus. Hallelujah. Come on, y'all encourage Miss Manette. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm gonna get through this. But like Pastor Mary said, now I got the mic, right? So my stomach is a little queasy and all this stuff. It ain't because I'm before y'all today, y'all. Y'all don't scare me no more, amen? Y'all don't. It's just all the word that went forth on this morning, starting even from prayer when we walked in with Minister Angela, and then Prophet Roosevelt came with a blessing that you got to do what you're supposed to do. You know, God put something in you, but sometimes we don't listen to it. And I had a story to tell on today, and I talked myself out of it. But listening to him today, I was like, okay, I got to do what I'm supposed to do. And I went to Deuteronomy 28:1. And it was blessings for obedience. And so it tied into what Apostle said and what Apostle Mary said. And it just all tied together. And it said, if you fully obey the Lord your God and carefully follow all his commands, I give you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all nations on earth. All these blessings will come on you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. You will be blessed. That's one scripture. One scripture says the fruit of your womb will be blessed. Your baskets and your kneading through will be blessed. You will be blessed. The Lord will grant you. The Lord will send you a blessing. The Lord will establish you. He will do all of this thing if you obey what the Lord has told you to do. And my story deals with my daughter Caitlin, and some of you know, she goes through financial aid for school and everything, and we always try to get everything in there on time, but financial aid can mess you up sometimes. So we started in May to get all the paperwork in, every single paper that we were supposed to put in. And so come June, they were still denying, pending, didn't know why. They kept saying Mama didn't put in her W-2. Now this was May, I did this. So come end of June, they said the same thing because she checked Sunday, and they're like, Mama didn't put in her W-2. So I called over and over, gave them the information again. Mama put in her W-2. I took it the next day. May the 4th, I did all of it. So here comes time to pay August 2nd. And each time they kept telling us to wait 10 days. So waiting the 10 days and we get the same message. Mama didn't put in her W-2. So payment was supposed to be done for August the 4th, I apologize. And they wanted at least 25% of an $1,800 bill. They wanted me to pay $400. But I did my paperwork. I'm like, I did what I was supposed to do. And so we went into the school, because now I'm upset. We're going to go into the school and talk to the man
financial man. And he like, oh, Miss Mike, I see it over here now. You did all you were supposed to do. But I was like, no. What you mean? What's going on? And he said, but financial aid didn't receive it because the people before you or the people before her didn't turn in your status. They had the W-2, they had all the paperwork, but what they didn't do is update Caitlin's status. So she was still incomplete. And I was like, okay, y'all know me, I'm gonna cry in a second. I cried. I said, I'm gonna tell you now, I'm upset with you, sir. She's upset. And he was like, I understand, Ms. Mike, but there's nothing we can do. I said, you gonna tell me there's nothing, not a thing you can do when all this stuff has been done back in May. This is now the beginning of August, and you can't call nobody. And you know, I was getting a little upset, and then I was like, so the lady lied to me, that lady lied to me, that lady lied to me. I said, because everybody said they got it straightened out. And he was like, ma'am, all she can do is register again on Monday morning. Or pay the $400 and some dollars. I said, sir, I ain't got that. I got about $3 in bank. I don't have $400. He was like, she gonna drop the courses in, they'll just drop her closed courses, and she just gotta re-register, and hopefully her classes will still be there. I just stood up and walked out. I didn't know what else to do. I just stood up, I walked out. Caitlin said the man looked at her, looked at it, and they was like, oh, okay then, and so she left. I went to my apostle, all the way upstairs. Looked here, and I told her what was going on. She stood in her driveway, and she started praying for us. She started praying for the financial aid. She started praying that the man was going to call Caitlin and apologize, that she was not going to lose any of her classes. She told Caitlin, by your mama's faith, because first you got to come into repentance of what you're doing, but by your mama's faith, Caitlin, this stuff is going to get taken care of. All of it. And you know how we be, okay, I get you, understand. But I believed her. I believed her. And this was on a Friday. Saturday, when we were here doing the back to school celebration, that man called on a Saturday afternoon. He apologized to my daughter for everything that they had went through. He told her that every class would be held for her. They told her that she did not have to go register again and do anything. They gave her a book account, which we have never received. And she wound up getting financial aid of over $6,000. But I asked her, and she said, sure, go ahead, Mama, you can do that. By my faith, I believe everything that God has promised me, the blessings that He has said I can do. And that only comes, y'all. I'm up here for tithes and offerings. Come on now. I'm up here for tithes and offerings. It could have been a prayer meeting right now or whatever, but I'm up here for tithes and offerings because I'm learning over and over again, even when it feels like that my bills are going low, or that I can't get a water heater, that I can't get a pipe fixed in my house. I'm paying my tithe and my offering, and I'm believing that I'm not suffering through all of this, that He's going to pull me out of every situation that I got myself into sometimes. But I thank God for His many, many blessings. I thank Him, hallelujah, for His many, many blessings. And I believe He gave us 90%. 90%, and He only asked for 10. I'm up here for tithes and offerings, y'all. obedience, Father God. We thank you, Father God, for the time and the offering on tonight, Father God. We just lift them up before you, Father God, asking you to continually bless your people, Father God, over and over and over again, Father God. Allow us to continually follow you, Lord, even in our tithes and our offering, Father God. Let us follow you, Lord. You blessed us with 90, Lord God, and we're grateful, God. We thank you, Jesus.